This is Sean with Gate City. We're on a job today in Greensboro. So what we are working on is we are here to do the finish grading and final site cleanup for this property. So they had a bunch of trees in here. Here's a picture from Google Street View from a few years ago, and you can really see how many trees were in this yard here, and you can see that front tree wasn't looking too good to begin with. So all those have been ground out of there, and that's where all the wood chips came from. And you all know from watching my channel that stump grinders leave just like a mountain of chips. And so that's exactly what we have here. The whole backyard and that big pile in the front, this is all just wood chips. And this was done last fall, and nothing will grow in these wood chips. So if you're having stumps ground out, make sure they are hauling the chips away. And so what I've got going on here is the property manager has contracted me to haul these chips out of here and bring in dirt and get this graded out and looking really good. So they've done a ton of work inside the house and on the outside here. The house is looking really good, but the yard looks awful. And so that's what we're working on today. We are here to get this house, everything finalized in terms of the yard. They wanted to do some gravel in here as like a little pad to park on and walk on. And I've got Daniel on the way with some dirt. And so what I want to work on now is to get some of these chips out of the way so he can dump the first load right here. And then I'll start piling up the chips. And on his second load, I think he will back haul them away for us. So it just stopped raining. We're trying to get this done beforehand. And so the guys were willing to work today. It's really hot and humid out here. And so we're gonna see how we do. So that's what we're working on today. This is a property manager that I've done some work for, but I think this is the first time I've recorded any of it. And so we are actually here over drainage concerns. And if you look up against the house right behind Jeremy right there, you can see how flat it is. And there's no real slope away from the house. And so originally I got called out here to just take a look at the drainage around the house and maybe improve it. And that pretty much turned into getting all these wood chips out of here because they've been trying to grow grass over here for at least 8 months or so, and nothing, of course, nothing grows in wood chips after you grind a stump. And so what started out with addressing and discussing some drainage concerns led into a whole property transformation, getting the yard done. So that's what we're going to be working on today. All right, if you look at this is all stump again. So that's what a lot of stump grinders do. They just grind until they make a pile and then stop grinding. So when you remove the pile of chips, the stump is still here. So there's nothing ground about it. And so the only way to make this look good is to bring in dirt and dress it on top of it. So unless you're going to dig the stump out. So that's why I don't recommend stump grinding. In many cases, it's better to dig it out with an excavator, because the stump grinder leaves the stump here. They just grind the top off and leave a pile of chips. And so luckily we need some dirt in here up against the house anyway, so I'm gonna try to feather this all out. And unless you're gonna pay to have this all dug back out of here, it might be better to just put some dirt over top of it, which is what we're gonna do. But over time, over the next 10 years, this is gonna rot away and create a sinkhole right here. And so definitely make sure you check up on your stump grinder, because this was a really crappy job. They did not get the stump out. All they did was ground the top of the stump into a pile of chips, and then left the pile of chips such that once you scrape the chips off of it, you're right back into stump again. So anyway, enough of my bitching about this. The guys are back in the back trying to get some of the trash cleaned up. and I'm gonna start heading back here to clean up those chips. So that's where we're at. This is unfortunately a good example of a contractor just really ripping off a property manager. And so if you take a look here, they seeded and strawed over top of these wood chips. And so whatever contractor did this actually charged the property manager here to seed and straw over these wood chips, knowing that nothing was going to grow. And so now the property manager knows what to look for when talking to somebody about this, and he may even hire us to remove the stumps. I always recommend stump removal instead of stump grinding. But just take a look at this and see what a mess it's been out here. And this will give you something to look for and a little bit more insight into what you're getting when you pay to have your stumps ground out. All right, Daniel just arrived with the first load of dirt, and I've got a pretty good pile of chips here so he can backhaul them. Looks good. That's good. I'm going to load them up, so make sure the cameras are facing.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'll try to make some space and maybe have you back it up a little bit. All right, I'm not saying I'm the best at loading trucks, but that's a pretty good load on there, especially with this smaller machine.
Good job, boss. We were impressed.
Yeah, right. That truck's like a bottomless pit compared to mine.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
I gotta say, it's a good thing that you have the curb though, because otherwise you won't make it a lift.
Yeah. Okay, there's the first load of dirt that Daniel brought. So I'm gonna start dumping it across here, and the guys are gonna start working on feathering it out for me. So let me see if I can get some of this organic matter out of here first. Things are moving along pretty well here. I moved the pile out of the way. The next load I think I want Daniel to put in the back there. And I've started getting this, kind of getting it where it's starting to want to be. I need to really get some space over here is what I need. So I'm going to try to take some of this dirt, and you can see just how much we're establishing grade away from the house. And I want to do the same thing along the side area here. So this is, we don't have as much room to work with here, but I want to get something going away from the house, especially with that big parking lot right there. So it's coming along pretty good. Daniel's on the way back with another load of dirt, and he took his first load, his first back load of pine bark, or not pine bark, but wood chips out of here. So that will hopefully fit on his truck. Daniel's back with another load, and he's trying to figure out how he can get back into here somewhere. So Oh, it looks like he's got it. Sweet. There's still a ton of chips in here. Every time I go through, I scoop more out, and I think I'm gonna hit China digging so deep. Ronald, I think I want him right here. Spinning tires a little bit. That's probably good. There's nothing overhead. Sweet, sweet dirt. Daniel doesn't slam his tailgate like a lot of drivers do. See if he can get out. Okay, we got the first almost 2 truckloads of dirt spread around. So the idea of digging out the wood chips and replacing it with fill dirt or topsoil-ish. But I think the water is going to kind of go, it's already naturally going that way. So I hate to just like glaringly grade it into the neighbor, but that's how it's going. So we're uphill all around here. And then it looks like we kind of split like maybe right here-ish. And you can see they made this little chute right here in the concrete because everything's going that way. And so that's why getting this grade critical, or getting this grade correct, is so critical. Now our grade is a little bit close to the finished height of the house. And so what we have to do is we have to install termite protection and probably spray for pests a little bit more diligently. But if you have a choice between having the grade where it's supposed to be, which is 6 inches off the house and the thing is flooding, or you have something that you can mitigate, which is pest control, sometimes you have to choose the lesser of two evils. And so I'm gonna get all this graded as well. I've got a few more chips in here. These chips are just like never ending. And so I already filled up Daniel's truck twice, and I got pretty close to 18 yards in there each. So that's just a lot of chips to leave here. I thought when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a wood chip yard. But nope, we want an actual yard here. So that's what we're giving them. So it is really, really hot. We got a late start today, and so the guys have had enough. So we're gonna be back in the morning. I'll see you then. We are back out here. It's the next morning, and I've got some border pavers. Want to get some stuff cleaned up. I've got my dump truck here. I think Ronald just sawed that old telephone pole in half. We're gonna get that out of here. And Daniel delivered another load of dirt last night after we left. So we're gonna try to get this all finished up with the grading today. Just about the time I got that little bit of extra trash cleaned up, that Bobcat, that T450, died on me. And so Jeremy went back and got the Mustang and my other dually. And so we need to get this Bobcat loaded up on this trailer and keep working with the Mustang. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to dead sled this thing up on the trailer using some plywood. This Bobcat is not starting, so we're gonna try to winch it up onto the trailer. I brought my other Bobcat here, the Mustang, and we're gonna try. I've never recovered a piece of heavy equipment before, so let's see how we do, I guess. I don't know. Ronald's in the truck with the truck running in neutral and the brakes on. Go ahead, put some pressure on it. Our dead sled setup is complete with the small Bobcat sitting on the plywood. The truck is sitting in neutral and Ronald's got his foot on the brake, so there's brakes on all 4 axles. There's a 20-foot jumper cable from the truck battery to power the winch. And then Jeremy's going to run the winch while I push on the Bobcat with the Mustang, and we're going to push this thing up on the trailer. Alright, that's probably good, I think. Alright, let's drop it down. Nope. Alright, that worked pretty well.
I'm assuming leaving it engaged.
We put 2 pieces of plywood underneath the tracks, and that was kind of like a dead sled, and it slid up on pretty well. So I guess Jeremy's going to take and drop this off and get the other truck with the empty trailer on it, and then we'll keep working with this one. Hopefully this one will get it done. This area here is just kind of, it's really flat in here and there's not really a lot going on. There's a sewer clean out right there. So I just want to sprinkle a little bit of dirt in here and just try to get a little bit of a grade away, something like that. I just dug a bunch of the organic matter in detritus out of that area right there. So let me go dump this and then I'll see if I can get this looking better. Alright, things are looking pretty good through here. I think I've got everything done with the Bobcat, and we've got a few pieces of trash to get cleaned up. All these bricks and stuff, we're gonna get those hauled out of here too. So I think Jeremy's coming around the corner here. With that, we are all finished up in the back, and so we're going to move back up here to the front and get the rest of this edge in here. These are just some edging paver stones that I got, and we're going to be bringing in some gravel and doing like a little parking / walking pad to try to delineate the grass from the gravel parking area on this house. With the Bobcat, I think I just want to do this straight line. Okay, we are finished for the day, and we're gonna put some crush and run and form a pad, a parking pad and walkway there. We're just getting loaded up right now and we're about to be out of here. So the Mustang saved the day today. The Bobcat broke down and things are looking really good. We added this border in here. I thought that was going to be a nice touch, and then I think I'm going to extend it across here because you don't want this turning into a parking free-for-all. So if you give some boundaries, that will often help. So this is looking really good back here too. I might bring the Harley rake on the mini Bobcat, we'll see, but this is looking real good. So I've got everything graded. I think it's going to flow pretty well. It's all kind of flowing that way, so we're not doing anybody any favors over there, but that's what it was doing before too. Oop, and there's a camera right there. We are back out here today and we're going to get finished up. We are going to get some seed and straw spread out, and then my hauler Daniel brought over a load of, this is called ABC. It's approved for the NCDOT. It's basically a mixture of fines all the way up to about 1.5 inches, and you may hear this called crusher run. But this actually comes from the quarry, so if you recycle concrete you get this. But when you're filling in this much space here, you don't want to put more than 1 inch or 2 of gravel, because gravel is really loose and it doesn't like solidify. This stuff will actually like solidify into a pad. And so with this thick of material I wanted to put down, I wanted this ABC or crusher run. So that's what we're working on today. Got Ronald with me, got the mini skid, got a bunch of seed and straw. So we're gonna get after it today. Things are looking pretty good here. I want to try to go from that telephone pole at a little bit of a diagonal to the end of that curb, the edge of the curb. So what I want to do here is just try to clean up this edge a little bit and straighten it out, make it look a little bit better. We are finished with this job, so take a look. I got all that ABC crusher run spreader out and compacted pretty well. I tracked over it a couple times at least, so that should be in pretty good shape. We got everything graded away from the house as best we could. And the main thing here is we just cleaned up the yard. It was buried in wood chips. Take another look at the before footage and you can see how flat that was up against the house and how much fill we really brought in from where they had the stumps ground out. So if you have stumps, always try to get them dug out with somebody with an excavator and then hauled away, because when you grind a stump, the stump is still there, it's just in a million pieces. And so a lot of times what you do is you hire a tree guy to come out, hire a stump grinder to come out, and then you hire somebody to come, a landscaper or whoever, to come out, when you could just hire an excavator to do the whole thing. So anyway, this is all looking really good. We got everything seeded and strawed, and so the yard is in much better shape now. That dog was just like asleep the other day, and now he's really awake and barking at us. But anyway, so can't wait for the property manager to get back over here and take a look. We are back out here. It's been a few weeks. The lawn is starting to grow up. They haven't been watering it or anything, so it's kind of weedy too. But they built the fence. They got the fence built up, and the property owner asked us if we would run a snake or a jetter through the drain lines, just as preventative. So that's what we're going to work on today. Ronald's got the hose hooked up into the clean out, and he's familiar with this area, so he's got the manhole cover pulled up, and we're just looking to see if there's any water running in there. This is completely preventative. Can you see anything in there?
No, not really.
All right, there's the water coming through.
It took a minute.
Yeah, it's flowing pretty good, but we'll run our jetter hose through there, which is what the property owner wants, just as preventative.
They ain't gonna hurt the run.
Yep. Ronald's pushing her through down there, and I'm over here at this end. All right, come on back this way. Yeah. Yeah. We are running it through a second time here. just for the heck of it. Alright. Just leave it for a sec. So what have we got going on?
Let me get this back. Back up. Just pass this here. We hit a little spot in the pipe that's a little tight. I think we hit something. I'm not sure. Some type of blockage. We need to run the snake.
Okay. We brought the snake with us just in case.
It's on the truck. Yeah, we'll run it.
Put some water in there.
Put some water in there, see what's going on with it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Just stretched out already. I used to hate my little orange pumpkin. I looked some of it to get that thing and wrap around my hands.
No, we don't want
I
that.
finally sold that butch off.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of these machines too. The orange pumpkin didn't have the automatic feed like this machine does.
Well, that automatic feed was about 200 bucks extra. I had to bolt it on there.
Really?
Yep. But anything that'll keep your hands off of that cable.
You know, is this the automatic feed part?
Yep, that's the automatic feed part. Yep.
Well worth it.
With the lever.
Well worth it. Effortless.
Yeah, I had to bolt it on. I remember somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, underneath got a couple bolts. Looks like.
Yeah.
Great.
But anything to keep your hands off of that cable, you know, right?
Yeah.
With it straight like that, that's good. But you don't want it long, because then it starts flapping.
Flack in it and get you.
Yep. All right, let me go off to the other end and see what happens. We've got a pretty good flow in here. So when the customer asks us to snake this or clean this out, you can just run the jetter in there and say we ran the jetter, but it's also a little tiny bit of extra effort can really go a long way here. We ran the jetter twice. It's a 3-inch pipe, it should be a 4-inch. So there could be some problems there, but Ronald said he felt the jetter was getting hung up a little bit. So we busted out the snake. And we'll run the snake through here and just see what happens. Okay, he's out of cable. So we didn't quite make it all the way, but we ran the full 50 feet through there. And I don't know if you can see all these mosquitoes, but they're thick out here. I'll do that with one hand for you all. All right.
This system's impacted with roots.
Okay.
Crap. Well, that was what we found.
Yeah. Okay.
Baggy come out of there, maybe.
All right. So there
all
is.
them roots right there is impacted in them lines.
So I should tell the customer are roots in here. There is a break.
I would let him know there's a break somewhere in it. Yeah.
Okay. Good call. Let me get a picture of that before you get it out of there.
Not exactly. Maybe a break where at least the
tiny
roots
crack.
got in through somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get a picture of it.
Yes, that could cause him a problem somewhere.
This was a pretty cool job. It quickly turned into a much bigger thing than just addressing some drainage concerns. So getting called out there, looking at that grade, I knew I had to be bringing in some dirt. And once I figured out that those wood chips were so deep and there was nothing going to go through there, we pretty much were like, okay, we need to get these chips out of here, get some dirt in. And I've done a bunch of work for this property manager before, and so he likes our work. So he pretty much said, get this property ready to go. They had already gotten all the inside done, all the siding and exterior done, so the yard was really the last piece. So that was really good. Everything turned out well on this. We did that sewer clean out, and that's a 3-inch line, which it should be a 4. And so there were some roots in there, and so I recommended that we just let it go for now, and if we have any problems in the future, we may be replacing that 3-inch line with a 4-inch line. So we may do that at some point, but for now it's flowing. We snaked it, we jetted it, it's good to go. As far as the Bobcat goes, I towed the Bobcat over the T450 over to the dealer, the local Bobcat dealer, and the code that was coming up with was a lost communication between the computer. And so I took the computer connections out and made sure everything was clean and good to go and tight. And I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, so I took it to them. It turns out it was the fuse block. And so I guess there was some corrosion and dirt and grime that was making the connection at the fuse block. And then I think some of the fuses also they replaced. So they charged me about $500 to get that thing back. That T450's been back up and running. And it was kind of interesting doing that heavy equipment recovery. I had never done one of those before, but it seemed to work out pretty well using the plywood as a sled. So let me know what you all thought about that recovery that we did, even though it did work out pretty well. Alright, and I guess with that, I will end this video here, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful, you can subscribe. You can check the links for becoming a patron. You can give me a super thanks, and you can like the video. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.